Right folks, this is the second part of the 090-070 build. If you look back you'll see another video for the crankcase assembly. The first thing I'll show you, if you bought one of these kits, you don't get this little piece of tube that joins the oil pump to the feed for the bar. So you want a piece of 8mm diameter outside plastic tube, robust petrol and oil tube, 6mm inside, and it needs to be 43mm long, and then you won't get any kinks in the center. I think we've done the oil, the petrol cap pickup pointing towards the tank, because the pipe, you won't believe it, but this is how many pieces there are still to put on. And these over here. The tube, petrol pipe, goes from here. We'll put it on now. And it wraps around the post and goes to the carburetor. I made this little thing up here. It's made of lead, just a bit of lead flashing, so you can work it. Stop any muck or whatever going in. Plus, you can stand the piston on when it comes to putting the barrel on. Now, I think the first step is what we're going to do. If we look for it, there's this little filter which goes in here. It's aluminium, and it taps in. I suppose it presses in really, but we haven't got a press that will go in there. So need to try and get it started. I'll just go and get a pair of pliers. Once you've got it started, I knock it in, and I'll show you it in. Right, okay. It's a bit over generous really for the hole it goes in, but whatever. And the one goes in there is I'll sock it and start it, and then you'll have it in sections. This little thing and it adjusts the oil flow, and with it goes, I can't pick them up, a small brass washer, and there's a rubber cover. You wouldn't know it was there. And this, the brass piece, presses into the cover, and there's a little lip. There. And then this screws into the here. But you need the nut on the back to lock it in position. The hole's full of enamel paint. Here she goes. Not right the way back there. And it comes through the back of the oil pump. And this piece, you need to make sure it's in properly. There you are, and then when it's in, it should look like that, and it fits in a recess in the centre there, and that goes on the end of that there. Should it come through. So we go. I'll just tap it on a little bit further. And then it's hollow in the centre, and if you put a punch in the middle of it, it just spreads it. And it won't come off. And then the pump, now be careful with the pump when you're moving it about, because there's a pin in there. He says, it's got a little shelf on it, and it locks the pump in place. There's a groove there that the pin locates into. And if you push it in, the pin will drop in. There you go. having said that, let me get this out of the way. These pieces here, you want the outer one lined up. Go in there. The inner one, you see that? One goes in the slot there, the other one that one goes round there. There you go. And like that. One's at the back, you see, and the other one goes into that slot there, and then you put your pin back in. To hold it all in place. Ah, that one's popped out again. No, it hasn't, that's right. Yeah. Oh, see, so you'll be careful of. I've done it on the first one, I lost it. I had to use a oh, that's it. It fell out again. You've got to be real careful with this thing. Wally. Right, so you've got to make sure the pin doesn't drop out the other side, so that's what have you. And the inner one goes in the slot in the diaphragm, and the outer one is in the slot in the housing. And then when it turns, when the crankcase pressures, it moves it round, pumps oil in. Right, you got that? The outer one's in that slot, and you can't put, and the inner one is in the slot in the back of the pump. Now we want some longer, but I haven't got any. Pan heads that need to be a little longer than these, I think. So I'll just go and see if I have any longer ones. And the next step is to fit the pump. So that rubber presses against there and stops it coming, regulates the amount of in and out it will do. So I'll put a little bit of Loctite on each of the pan heads. This one, because they go into a recess, and the pan heads are too big, so I had to just take some of the head off so it will. And there it goes again, look, the pin. This goes in there. I'll just get a screwdriver and we just tighten up the pump. And then you'll see that when you want this to move about 3 or 4 mil in and out. Too tight. The centre rotates. See it rotating. Right, next one, see, we've got to put some glue on. Gasket, and then the cover, and then I'll show you how you get that into the hole there. Has to go into the pump, and it wants to push out all the time, so it's a bit of a job. So I'll just get it greased up.